Building on a 17-year relationship that began in 1996, the National Parks Trust has received £83,915 from the Darwin Initiative Plus Fund of the United Kingdom's Department of Environment, Food and Rural Areas. The money will fund a 21-month project focusing on conserving plant diversity and the management of forest ecosystems in the British Virgin Islands. The Darwin Foundation will carry out a national survey to help with environmental preservation and conservation of endemic species.
This project will ultimately address the theme Habitat or Species Conservation, Management and Sustainable Use for Terrestrial and Marine Environments, as well as it will help to take forward work in priority areas identified through environmental mainstreaming. The projected outputs under the project will be 1. The production of ecosystem and vegetation maps for the BVI. 2. The identification of gaps in terrestrial protected area network. 3. The addition and enhancement of threatened and endangered species collections at the J.R. O'Neill Botanic Gardens. 4. The performance of studies of the life cycles of threatened species. And 5, the production and draft management plans for forest ecosystems under management by the National Parks Trust. Actually, there's a 6th. The production and enhancement of floral inventories for select parks and ecosystems outside the existing protected area network.
The project builds on 2 previous Darwin Initiative-funded projects which have identified 4 BVI endemic and 16 threatened species uniquely found in the territory. The project will also help with environmental protection and conservation efforts in the BVI through the formulation of sustainable environmental practices and policies.
The enhanced ability to map and understand plant diversity will assist us in ensuring that we do everything in our power to protect our territory through effective policies and laws. We will also highlight the importance of conserving plant diversity to our residents and visitors alike. And I pause here, Mr. Hamilton. I don't know if you're aware, but I did have an opportunity to visit Kew Gardens in January 2012. And I must say that it is quite an extensive collection of plant and plant material. And we certainly look forward to the partnership that is developing here.
The Darwin Initiative was launched on Thursday, December 12th at the Fishlock Hall in the J.R. O'Neill Botanical Gardens, which over time will become the national repository for housing collections of threatened and endangered species for the territory. The UK government's coordinator for overseas territories, Martin Hamilton, works out of the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew, in the UK. Hamilton says the Darwin-funded project will involve vegetation mapping over the next 2 years. He says there are populations of species in the BVI endemic to the Caribbean and the world.
The Royal Botanic Gardens Kew celebrated its 250th anniversary a few years back. It is a world leader in plant conservation. We have the largest collection of living plants and the largest collection of dried plants on the planet. What that allows us to do is bring a wealth of information to the table when we're trying to assist our partners in the overseas territories to understand the diversity that's held within their lands. This project in particular is an exciting development. It enables us to ensure that we're able to continue our engagement here in the British Virgin Islands for another 2 years under this project, with dedicated funding to work on mapping of the vegetation, but also to ensure that we're getting good information about the locations of threatened plants. And we're able to share that information back with the National GIS so that can be used in the planning process.
Hamilton, who has been engaged in similar work in the BVI for the past 11 years, says a new conservation collection was recently started in the Botanic Gardens, which he says has tourism value. Hamilton also confirmed with JTV News that intellectual property rights are guaranteed through agreements between the BVI and the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew. Other benefits will include the provision of educational and awareness information that will be shared through the Department of Education and the BVI Tourist Board in order to sensitize students, residents, and visitors of the unique flora of the Virgin Islands.